What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV. Back with another live stream today. We'll be looking at the latest Arsenal transfer news. January transfer window is around the corner. Rumours are starting to run around. Some of them, they're just back of the newspaper rubbish. Some of them, you never know, maybe will come to fruition, people. So we'll discuss that. A few other bits and bobs to discuss. It'll probably be a slightly shorter show today, as not too much is going off, but we'll get into the latest anyway and have a little discussion. Get all your comments in. Omar said, breaking news, Curtis is on time, more to follow. Hey, come on, man, I think I might have been a minute late today. I can't even lie, people, but hey, Granit Xhaka mode is going on from the get-go, people. I'm not even going to wait for it to warm up. I already know how this thing's going to go already. So slow mode is on. Let's get your comments in, people, for today. And we got a few things to discuss, a few transfer rumours. Buenos Aires Guna finally catch you live. Big up, bro. That guy D, smash the likes, people. Keep it moving. 3 legends in the background. You know what? It's a bit sad. I had to kind of move because I was blocking Thierry. So I have to just kind of play between, so we can do that. More than a wheelchair, it's a big C. You're keeping me sane watching your show whilst taking the kids to the indoor play area. I know about that, bruv. I know about taking the kids to the play centre. Nothing but noise in there. But big up to you for tuning in. Big up, Craig. Thank you for your comment. Listen, first of all, let's start the show. Big shout out to everybody who supports this channel, whether it's, on a daily basis or when you can. We hit 38,000 subscribers yesterday. Another little milestone. We just got to keep ticking over, see where it takes us. As I always say, man, when you start a channel, you just never know or understand what is going to happen when you start a channel. You think, are people going to buy into what I'm saying? Is it going to be popular or whatever? So 38K. I think we are now about 14,000 away from 10 million views as well. So we could possibly hit that today or tomorrow. So listen, as always, I have to big up the community for the support. And I have to thank each and every one of you. All the likes on the videos, all the comments, all the interaction. It is much, much appreciated, and I never take it for granted, Michael said 4 legends on the screen. Hey, come on, Michael. Nah. 3 legends in the background, man. I'm just a regular guy, But listen, I appreciate the support of all of you people. And we keep moving. Let's just see where it takes us. Yeah, hopefully we get 40K soon and then 50K, whatever. Big up my bro Fran in the chat, man. Said, pull up that blood clot. Big up, Fran. Hope you're well, bro. Let me know if you're on today. As usual, I'll promote it. And listen, we get a show done next week, man, before the international break finishes. Your most viewed video. Do you know what? It's that, it's the Whisper Along. Still the Whisper Along. Me and Fran, Copa America final. 605,000 views, people. That I still to this day can't believe it. We was literally whispering at 1 o'clock in the morning. It was a madness, people. But onwards and upwards, we keep moving. Fran just streamed. Oh, man, you did the earlier stream today. I didn't even know. I just recorded Talk is Cheap for today, so that should be out later on this evening or first thing in the morning. So look out for that as well. So, Fran's been on earlier, so I missed it. I'll tune in and watch that after. Right, let's get into the latest, people. Arsenal Football Club. Not too much going on, but we'll talk about what is happening at the moment. And one of the things that is happening, happy Veterans Day to our United States fans. Yeah, definitely. Did Laurie do the intro? They're much shorter now. We said you got to calm down with them long intros, man. They're a bit too much. But these 2 players look like they are on their way out of Arsenal Football Club, people. That is Edward Nketiah and Alexander Lacazette. 2 players, 2 strikers at Arsenal. Looks as if both of these players are on their way out on a free transfer. Now, story being reported today is that Arteta wanted to keep both of these players at the football club. Apparently, Eddie Nketiah rejected a contract in the summer. He was feeling like he wasn't getting enough game time in the first team. And, obviously, I've slandered Eddie Nketiah a lot, whether it's joking or whatever, of course. I don't mean any of it personally, but he is the top goal scorer in England under 21 history. So he's still going to feel like he can do something at a club. Could he play for a Premier League club? I think Eddie's good enough to be in the Premier League at a lower half of the table team. With Lacazette, this is the thing with Arsenal. These are the questions. The people saying Eddie and 5G, no more phone contracts. The thing with these two players, and something that I would love for your Edus, your Josh Kroenkes, your Mikel Artetas to explain. When Raul Sanelli came to the football club, he did that interview where he said no player of value will be allowed to run into the last 2 years of their contract. The last year, of their contract. I don't understand how we can say that we are a self-sustaining model and then allow players of value to walk out the door. I don't understand how you can maintain that as a football club when you're trying to make money. Now, the report says that Arsenal turned down 11 million for Eddie Nketiah in the summer from Crystal Palace. Arsenal wanted 20 million. Now, you turn down 11, but then you're going to lose him for nothing. I don't understand the logic behind that. He's got a year left on his contract. And I always say this. When you're trying to sell something, the market will tell you how valuable that is. We tried to sell Granit Xhaka for 20 million in the summer. The most we could get was 13 million from Roma for Xhaka. So that's what he's worth. It doesn't matter what you think he's worth. The market's telling you his value. £11 million for Eddie. Maybe you chuck a 20% sell-on clause in there. It's better than losing him on a free. He's hardly kicked a ball for us this season in the Premier League. So where is the common sense in it? This is why I question the Kroenkes, your Edus, your Vinays. The financial sense in it is not there. The financial sense is not there. So I don't get it. Although Glenn's saying we accepted the 12 million. I mean, there were differing stories that, some people were saying Arsenal wanted 20 million. I remember a report that was on Sky saying we wanted more money. I mean, listen, maybe he did turn it down. And then you look at Alexander Lacazette. £50 million. I remember when we signed him, I thought he was going to be a massive signing for us. I thought he was a big upgrade on Giroud. Saw his goal record in the French league. I thought he was really going to get better and better as time went on. I think Laka is an excellent footballer. I really do. I think the problem with Lacazette, he's not an excellent goal scorer in the Premier League at Arsenal. And I think we should have probably gone with this two up front formation a little bit sooner. Now, we're in a predicament with Lacazette. From what I'm seeing in the comments, most people will probably say, I've seen people saying in the comments that that Eddie is not the biggest loss. Now, I think Eddie has got a little bit of potential, but he's out of contract. He obviously wants regular first-team football, and I wouldn't play him on a regular basis at Arsenal. But with Lacazette, I think you've really got to question the way this deal has been handled. Like you said, South London's finest, we could have sold him last summer, apparently, for 25 million to Roma when he had 2 years left on his deal. How have we allowed him to get into the last year of his contract when it seems as if he's not willing to sign a new deal? Harvey said they get played a lot in Arsenal, hard for them to get paid better elsewhere. We're one of the biggest payers. Greg said the problem is money is tight everywhere. Arsenal should look at spreading out the payments for a couple of years. They'll get more rather than trying to max out them right now. I mean, listen, Lacazette's going to want a 2, 3, 4 year contract because he's going to want security at this stage in his career. I mean, you look at Lacazette now, he's 30 years of age. He turns 31 in May. He's on £172,000 a week. Brian's asking a question here. Who is better, Giroud or Lacazette? And you know what? That's a very good question because they're both probably similar in terms of goals. They get you 15 goals a season in the Premier League. I'll leave out to you. Put it in the comments. Who do you think is better? Lacazette or who was better at Arsenal? Let's look at who was better at Arsenal. I feel like Giroud was the main man for a while at Arsenal. So I feel like, I don't know. It's a difficult one, that. Giroud was very good Giroud relied on service a little bit more. But then Laka was replaced very quickly by Aubameyang. Anthony said, I've just jumped on the Curtis Shaw TV fast train to top-notch Arsenal content. Big up yourself, Big C, and the best community on YouTube. Thursday salutations to one and all by Eddie. And a man put the phone there as well. So what do you make? J Dime said, I was saying on Fran's stream we should have got Tammy. I mean, listen, I can't lie. You know, you'll have seen what I said before. I was not a fan of Tammy Abraham, and I'm not going to lie, I'm still not a big fan of Tammy Abraham. However, he is doing very well at the moment in Italy, so I have to big him up on that. Was he the answer for Arsenal? He would have given us something different, but I just think we need to get a real top striker in the summer. DJ Dre said, Laka hasn't lived up to his potential. He can move. This will be Lacazette's last big contract. I personally... If you could get Lacazette to sign a 1-year deal, I'd keep him. But he's going to want 3 years, 3 years. I would not give him that new contract. I think we've had our fingers burnt with the Mesut Ozil situation. And I wouldn't fall for this again. I really wouldn't. I think we've been in this situation before. A player clearly playing for a new contract. And yeah, I wouldn't fall for it. I personally wouldn't give Lacazette a new deal. Fat Giroud ran in custard. Skinny Giroud at Chelsea was better. I think the thing at Chelsea was they put more crosses in. You know, they put more crosses into the box, so it suited him. Andrew said Giroud was better. Tell me this, I'll tell you this. What a name. Said Giroud layoffs and deft touches was key to many memorable goals. Also contributed to all set pieces. Temp said Laka loves this club. I didn't feel that with Giroud. Maybe early days he was a little bit... You know, he was on it a little bit, but then towards the end, you know, he was just there. Wenger loved him. Alvin said, have you heard about Michael Edwards leaving Liverpool as director of football at the end of the season? We as Arsenal should be going for him, as I feel Edu is out of his depth. You know what? It's an interesting point, Alvin, that you brought that up, because I saw this today. There were rumours that Edwards was going to leave earlier in the season, but I think they delayed it until the end of the season. Now, Michael Edwards is rated as one of the best directors of football in the Premier League, along with probably Marina, the lady who works at Chelsea. And a lot of people were like, listen, get Michael Edwards to Arsenal. He's been a genius in the transfer market for Liverpool. The problem is, and no matter what we think of Edu, are they going to sack Edu to bring in Michael Edwards? I don't think they are, because Edu can turn around. No matter what we think of Edu, and we've slandered Edu a lot on this channel, Edu can turn around and say, right, I spent 150 million this summer, and every single one of them players is proving their value. Maybe not Martin Odegaard, but Martin Odegaard is what, 22, 23, Norwegian captain. He'd been at the club already, you know, so we knew what he was already. You know, Tomiyasu, Ramsdale, Lokonga, Nuno Tavares, all of those signings have been good. Gabriel last summer, Thomas Partey injuries have held him back. So as much as we've been on Edu's case, Edu can turn around and say, I didn't do a bad job in the summer. You look at the January transfer window, he signed Odegaard and Matt Ryan with no money to spend. That was not a bad window on loan. He got rid of Socrates, Ozil, Mustafi. You know, he hasn't done that bad in the last 2 transfer windows, if we're being totally honest. Kiri said, big up Big C, best community on YouTube. Congrats on the award. You deserved it, man. Been here since your first 1K subscribers. Way to see you grow. Really appreciate that. Much appreciated. And as I said, big up to all of you. Edwards is not coming. I mean, listen, it depends what his situation is. I think he's fantastic. I just don't think Edu is on his way out of the door, you know. Nima, thank you for the super chat. Why are Liverpool letting Michael Edwards go? Apparently it's on him. Apparently he wants to go. He's been there for a while, and maybe he just wants something else. Laka and Eddie out, Martinelli and Balogun in. I mean, I think that Balogun will go on loan in January. I think he needs to go on loan and kick ball somewhere else. He needs experience. Lightweight or guard. I mean, listen, like I said, we've all been on Edu's case. You know, I mean, we've all been on his case. But one thing is, he hasn't done a bad job in the last 2 transfer windows, whatever we think of him. Big up Daniel Bailey TV said, Curtis, I have it on very good authority that Edu is going nowhere. I mean, Daniel's been in these boardrooms meeting people. Listen, I don't think Edu's going anywhere. I think Edu and Mikel Arteta seem like they've got quite a good relationship. Daniel said, Arsenal's strengths has always been identified by our strikers, Henry till Aubameyang. It's interesting that you look through the years, we've always had top quality strikers, haven't we? You know, probably Giroud at that period there wasn't. You know, we had Ian Wright, Bergkamp, Anelka, Henry, Van Persie, Adebayor, Aubameyang. We've always been potent up front, to be honest. I do think that if and when Lacazette leaves the football club, there is an argument to be had that he hasn't fulfilled his potential at the football club. If you look at what he was doing in the French league, now I know the French league isn't the Prem, but he hasn't even got near to those numbers, you know. And I think the talent's there, the football, but just hasn't been a potent goal scorer. I mean, I'm just looking at his stats. His last 3 seasons at Lyon, 27 goals in 33 games, 21 in 34, and then 28 goals in 30 games. Now, just to put that in context, at Arsenal, he got 14, then 13, then 10, then 13. 14 goals is his highest goal-scoring season at Arsenal. Now, that is not elite striker level, and 50 million, you know. So I think overall, when Lacazette leaves, I will say good player, but definitely hasn't fulfilled the hope and potential of him as a goal scorer. Temp said, now we have a top-class goalkeeper with a top-class striker. We'll be moving up. He took pens at Lyon. That's a good point. And Lyon seemed to get a lot of penalties. He also had that number 10 in Fekir, who he connected with very well. Amo said the Xhaka extension is criminal. Listen, I said at the time, I couldn't believe we extended his contract. M. Barron said, thanks to Wenger, his stubbornness, we ended up with Giroud for 5 years. I mean, listen, I don't like slandering Wenger when he's left, but I can't disagree with you there. He should have replaced him. It's almost as if he had too much of a connection. Man said, Puta Mari. Where is he, man? We can't find him. I don't know where he is. Andrew said Balogun and Martinelli need loan moves. I would not be surprised if Martinelli asked for a transfer. I mean, at this moment in time, I think Balogun could go on loan. For me, Martinelli should be getting game time. I don't think he should be going on loan. So I want to see him integrated back into the team, even if he's the first guy coming off the bench. Holding extension deserves jail time. Again, man, I mean, protecting his value, people, you know, because everyone's trying to snap him up and sign him, so we had to give him a new deal. Crazy. It's crazy, isn't it? You see players of value not getting new contracts, yet you see players like Rob Holding and Granit Xhaka getting new deals. Cronke out said, I don't even remember the last time Lacazette got 90 minutes. It always seems to come off. Alexander said, Curtis, if you could choose one realistic striker, who would it be? I mean, this is like the golden question at the moment. Who is that answer? A lot of people throw names in there, but nobody kind of ticks all the boxes for me at the moment. They're all, you know, I like Osimhen at Napoli, right? But he would cost 80, 90 million. So I don't think Arsenal are going to spend that kind of money. I like Vlahovic. I think he's a big prospect as well. The problem is Juve, Bayern, Atletico are all looking at him. Would he come to Arsenal ahead of those clubs? I like Calvert-Lewin's a decent player. Give us something different. But I just think he's very injury prone at the moment. People have said Ivan Toney. I'm not convinced that he can lead the line for Arsenal and score the goals. So I don't know. Yeah, Isaac, some people have said him. I got to be honest, I'm not totally convinced yet. I do see potential there. I'm just not fully convinced. Haaland, I mean, listen, that's dream world for us right now, kind of. You know, he's going to go Real Madrid, Man City, Bayern Munich, somewhere of that ilk at the moment. We should be in them conversations. But unfortunately, we're not. Martin said Martial is done. I mean, Martial, again, very inconsistent player. At Manchester United, I don't think he would be the answer. Isaac, yeah, like I said, I need to see a bit more from Isaac. I'm not really sure whether he is the answer. And Nketiah said, why not try and get Kane? Get him to his boyhood club, Arsenal. But that one's not going to happen. Ben Yedder, how old is he? 30 now? I don't see that one happening either. I don't know if he's doing anything at the moment. Now, Ben Yedder's 31, 32 next year. So no, I wouldn't go for him. Dusan, for me, I'm a big fan of him. Martinez just signed a new contract. I said this before. This summer that has just gone was our best opportunity to sign Lautaro Martinez, and we missed it. We allowed Chelsea to go and get Lukaku, and that meant they weren't going to let him go. Zapata is a player that I like. Well, again, I think he's 30, 31. I think Arsenal will go for a younger striker. Koned gave ESR a go, and it wasn't immediate. Martinelli or Balogun need a few games. The thing is, you would have said that Martinelli was ahead of Smith Rowe a year, 18 months ago. So it's amazing how he's kind of been held back, So interesting, very interesting. Daniel said, we're going to need to spend money on 2 strikers because they both need replacing, in my opinion. The only thing is, for me, I don't see Aubameyang going anywhere. Right, so anybody that thinks he needs replacing, I respect that, and I can understand why people think that. But for me, he's going nowhere. He's 32, turns 33 at the end of this season. He's on over 300 grand a week. Who is going to put money into that deal? You'd be literally throwing money down the drain. Jorge, big up for the super chat, bro, said Lacazette staying a year or 2 isn't the worst. We can reinforce areas and maybe get a partner for Partey. Then we focus on the strikers, as both of them may go then. I just think with Laka's going to sit there and go 31 this season. He's going to want a 2-3 year deal to give himself that stability. When you're at that age in your football career, you want stability. You want to know, I'm going to be at this football club for 3 years. You don't want to be moving your family from country to country, different clubs. I think if Arsenal offered Lacazette a 1-year contract, he would reject it. There are rumours that Inter Milan are looking at him. I think Atletico Madrid have looked at him a few times. I think on a free, Lacazette would get a decent move, potentially a Champions League club. Mr. G said, big up my bro, Big C. No one is after Adeyemi right now. He's tearing it up in Salzburg and will be cheaper than Vlahovic. Or we could just slap Martinelli up top. It's interesting. A few people have mentioned that Adeyemi. I think this is his breakthrough season. So I think people will wait. People always wait a little bit to see if they can do it again and before they go and buy them. But I've heard a lot of people talking about him. Martinelli, for me, I've said a number of times, especially if we're going to play 2 up front, I think you can play Martinelli up front, and especially in a 2. People said in a 1 he can't hold the ball up, this, that, the other. I would give him a chance in this 2. Press from the front, go and win the ball back, make life difficult. I think Martinelli could have a go up front. Kanav said, congrats on 10 million views. Do you know what? I think we're close to it. I think I'm not sure if we've actually hit it yet. I think we are probably this show away from hitting it if we get decent views on this one. In fact, no, we're on 9.99 views, so we are about 1,000 views away. So we will hit it today. So hey, big up to every one of you. We'll have to do something for that. I'll have a think. But yeah, that's massive. I actually thought we was another day away, but we should hit it today. So big up to you for that, Kanav, for making me aware of that. Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. Marcus and Sarah, I would play Aubameyang with Pepe up top. Do you know what? It's interesting. A lot of people want to find a way of getting Pepe up front. So many people have said, get Pepe up front, play him through the middle. He can play there. So, here we go. I knew this was going to turn up. PS5 giveaway at Chris. No, we'll do something. Don't worry. We'll do something. I always try and give back to the community. But PS5, I mean, they're hard to get hold of. I haven't played mine for a while, actually. So you never know. But no, we'll do something. We'll definitely do something, people. Because, yeah, that's another great achievement, to be honest. Yeah, well, in fact, we've hit it. Yeah, we've just hit it. There you go, 10 million. Just hit. So big up to every one of you. I have to applaud the community, Without the support of all of you, we never hit these kind of numbers. We never hit those milestones. So, yeah, we just hit it, people. So big up to all of you. And, we'll continue moving forward, people. 10 million views on the channel. That just sounds crazy, don't it? You you never get your head around things like that when you get started, you know. So yeah, big up to every single one of you. Really appreciate it, man. It sounds crazy, don't it? 10 million. Robbie kept calling him Lachuro Martinet. Listen, Robbie and his pronunciations, man. He still calls Maitland-Niles. He gets his name wrong. You know. Yeah, listen, I appreciate everyone, man, in the comments. Really appreciate it. It's to another 10 million, you know. We keep going. Can we hit 1,000 likes on this video? Over 1,000 people in the chat. We've hit over 1,000 the last 2 days, which is brilliant. Really appreciate it. 20 million next, people. George G said, I'd give Martinelli a whole season once Lacazette is gone. Splashing out the cash doesn't necessarily mean success. Ask Pepe. You make a good point there. Yeah, Robbie calls him Maitland-Miles, which is unbelievable. DV said, man's gone diamond. Hey, man, come on, people. Right, let's move on. Big up to everyone, though. Really appreciate it. Every single one of you. Legendary, man. The support never goes, it's never forgotten, people. Never forgotten. Right, let's move on. A familiar name. When you hear this name, you're going to be like, oh, no, not this again. We've heard this again. I'm sorry, but I don't shoot the messenger. I'm only here to report the news, people. Arsenal are being linked with, yeah, you guessed it, Philippe Coutinho. I think we've been linked with this guy for about the last 5 transfer windows, you know. Every time a transfer window comes up, oh, we'll link Coutinho with Arsenal. Now, I've got no idea why, but I always put it down to 2 things. Number one, Barcelona can't get rid of him quick enough. They are just desperate to sell him. I don't know what's happened to this guy. This guy cost £120 million, and they've been trying to sell him the whole time he's been there. It's crazy. When he went there, what an unbelievable player he was, by the way. Incredible footballer. And all of a sudden, they're just dashing this guy out the door. Now, Arsenal, I think, get linked with him for 2 reasons. Number one, Kia Jarapchin, our old mate Kia. Mr. Brown Envelopes, you know, who loved a bit of work with Raul Sanelli and stuff like that. Now, according to reports, I'm just reading through the story as I'm looking at it. It was saying his agent has come to the conclusion that it's best for Coutinho to rejoin a Premier League club. There were potential conversations about a move for Coutinho to rejoin Liverpool, but Jurgen Klopp is against it. It says the 2 clubs most likely to make a move for him, and like I said, don't shoot the messenger, people, are Arsenal and Tottenham. I mean, would Arsenal move for Philippe Coutinho? He's 29 years of age. He's on 250 grand a week. He's had injury problems. He kind of plays in the 10 role / left wing. We've got Smith Rowe. We've got Odegaard. I mean, listen, I'm only talking about it because it's out there in the press today, people. So I know some people will say, why are we talking about it? I have to go over it just in case it happens. It's amazing the way this guy has declined. I honestly can't believe how much of a decline he's had in his career, because at Liverpool, Coutinho was absolutely unreal. You know, I remember him scoring a free kick at the Emirates opening day, and I just thought, this guy is world class. You know, he got better and better every year. He's had, I mean, if we look back through his seasons, I mean, his final 2 seasons at Liverpool, 13 goals, 7 assists. Then he got 7 goals, 6 assists in just 14 games. He got his move to Barcelona. 8 goals, 5 assists, then 5 goals, 2 assists. He had that year on, or 6 months on loan at Bayern. 3 goals in 11 games. He's played 8 times this season. Most of them have been off the bench. He's got 1 goal. He's having an absolute stinker of a time at Barca. Listen, my opinion on this, I don't see any way how he ends up at Arsenal. There are rumours in this story that Arsenal could potentially take him on loan until the end of the season. I don't see it happening. I don't see where he gets in this team at the moment. I think we're gonna persist with Smith Rowe, who is a young player. We've only just bought Martin Odegaard for 30 million, so I don't see where he gets in this team. And I agree with what most of you are saying. For me, more than likely he ends up at somewhere like Newcastle, because they will throw money at him, and you know, they're looking to get big names in. So I can see a lot of your opinions in the comments, but you know, just let me know what you think. Coutinho on loan, would you take it? Is it worth it? Is it pointless? Is he way past it now? For me, we don't. It's not the player we need. Why would we pump so much wages into a player like that? Kyle said ESR is the future, 100%. Ruben said Danny Olmo will cost 70 million plus, and he's a younger player. You know, you got to get players that are for the future. Yeah, main and on, I could see Conte being interested, because Conte likes players who are kind of a bit older, and he signed Ashley Young and Moses, and I don't think he minds signing a player that's like 28, 29, 30. Everyone's saying no, nobody wants Coutinho. Coutinho, no, someone. Would you take Hazard on loan? I mean, Eden Hazard. I feel like I haven't seen Eden Hazard play football for about 3 years. Everyone's saying stay away from Coutinho. Again, sometimes with these things, I think they just got to fill a newspaper section, haven't they, unfortunately? Simon said Liverpool 144 million. I mean, they absolutely bumped Barcelona. Barcelona literally wasted the whole Neymar transfer fee almost. They bought Coutinho for 140 and Dembele for 110. I mean, Dembele is a good player, but a lot of injury problems as well. So, yeah, for me, stay well away from Philippe Coutinho, that's for sure. Arsenal for Life said 29-30 is your prime, but Coutinho hasn't been the same since he left Liverpool. Seemed to get a lot of injuries, didn't he? And it's held him back. Hazard is even worse than Coutinho. It's like Barca trying to give us a rash. They're just trying to give us everyone, aren't they? Just trying to get these players off the wage bill, I think, at the moment. So, yeah, Coutinho to Arsenal, I think, is a bit of a non-starter, to be honest. Just a few other things to talk about, and I'll take some of your comments. It's going to be a slightly shorter show today, people. We were looking at, there was a conversation about Balogun. Lee Carsley, I think the former Everton midfielder, is now the England under-21 manager. And he had an interview on Sky, and he was talking about Balogun, which was interesting. And basically, Lee Carsley has said, in terms of Balogun, he said, you need testing. He said, watching him in the under-23s for Arsenal is probably a little bit too easy for him, and he's past that level. I imagine he wants to play for Arsenal and push in for a position, but it's such a big club with a lot of competition. He said, I think it would be fair to say that a lot of clubs in Europe would be aware of Flo's qualities, and if anything, he has just got to keep proving himself. He is the only person he's got to impress. Look himself in the mirror. He's got outstanding ability, attributes, and work rate, and he is a player that people look forward to seeing. And he went on to say at the top there that Lee Carsley said that Arsenal youngster Balogun is too good to be stuck in the Arsenal reserve team. So, again, you have to look at it. And again, I look at this as we looked at the Saliba situation. When we gave Balogun a new contract last summer, I was delighted. I said, cool, new deal. For me, he's got massive potential. Let me see how Arsenal handle him. We do not have Europa League this season. So you don't have that game time where you can say, give him them 6 group games in the Europa League because we'll probably win all of them. It's going to be Premier League and a couple of domestic cups. Now, my question again would be, why have we not, number one, involved him? Or number two, why did we not loan him out at the start of the season? What was the plan? This is, again, something that Arsenal Football Club need to start doing. You look at Chelsea and the way they handle their young players. Reece James, Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham. These guys all went on loans, championship clubs, did well, came back. Look at the careers these guys are having. Reece James, one of the best right backs in the Prem. Mason Mount starts for England, starts for Chelsea. Tammy, they got over 30 million. We have to find a way, like you're saying here as well, Ibra, we have to find a way of bridging the gap. Said many times before, under-23 football, in my opinion, they should scrap it. Get rid of it. When I was growing up, we had reserve team football. Reserve team football turned you into, you had to get rough and ready. It was men's football. You could play against a top quality first team player that's just returned from injury. Under-23s is like non-contact, soft, pass and move football. The gap is too big. Balogun, what was the plan? You give him a 4-year contract. Surely you sit down with him and say, we're going to involve you this season and you're going to get game time, or we're going to get you out on loan. You're going to go to the Championship. You're going to go to a lower club in the Prem. You're going to learn about first-team men's football, and then you're going to come back a better player. I feel like we've wasted 6 months of Balogun's career by putting him in the under-23s for 6 months. He proved last season he's way too good to play under-23s. So, again, it's another one of those Saliba situations. You know, we kept Saliba at Arsenal last season for the first 6 months and did nothing with him and left him in the under-23s. Reggie, yeah, the player does have to agree to be loaned out. But let me tell you this. If a manager turns around to you and says, we're going to loan you out because you're not going to be in my plans this season, I don't see any reason why the player would sit there and say, I'll just play under 23s then. I just don't think he would have done that. He must have been told something along the lines of, I don't know, fight for a place or you'll get an opportunity or something. Now, having watched Balogun play a few times for the first team, I'm not even necessarily saying he's ready to be in the first team, because I do think he could do with a loan. I would have no problem with him going to a good Championship club or a lower Premier League club and learning his trade, because Arsenal probably haven't got time for him to learn in the first team. But sitting there playing under 23s is just a waste of time, in my opinion. Trident said, we need to sign Curtis Shaw from AFTV as a brilliant striker. Hey, man, I leave the young lads now. They can do all the running, man. I'll just chill and talk about it, you know. Arteta wanted everybody at his disposal. Yeah, but, you know, sometimes did we really need him? You know, no disrespect. If you're only in the Premier League for the start of the season, you've got Aubameyang, you've got Lacazette, you've got Eddie Nketiah, you know Martinelli can play through there. At the time, we were only playing with one striker. Was there a need to keep Balogun around? You know, surely, I said the other day, somebody asked the other day, you know, what are the best leagues in Europe for players to go out on loan? And for me, I think the Championship is one of the best. You know, it's one of the toughest leagues physically, and I think a lot of young players benefit from playing in that league. I think the Bundesliga is also a great league to develop. BX Gunner said, Arteta had to have a better look at him and rather have him under his eye, things play out and develop as it goes. I hear you on that. I do hear you on that. I think, yeah, sometimes a manager does want to see them. But yeah, okay, I'll let you off with that. But he's involved him so little. A lot of the time, he doesn't even make the matchday squad. Keegan J said, I'm a big fan of Flo. I'm sure he wanted to go out on loan, but Arteta promised him first-team football. He will leave us soon. Trust me, Big C. Very sad if he leaves. The only thing, Keegan, you know, he just signed a 4-year deal, so hopefully we should be all right. Shouldn't have any worries of him leaving. Johan said Curtis can chill and make those Inzaghi runs. That's it now, you know. Inzaghi runs 6 yards, tap in and just run off. You know, Inzaghi was the happiest man in football at scoring tap-ins, and I loved it. He was shameless. You know, he didn't need to score 30-yard bangers. You know, the ball could hit his shin pad from 4 yards and he'll run off like he scored in the World Cup final. He was a legend, though. Pippo. If you know, you know, people. Gambian Guna said Balogun is being wasted. Even Eddie is ahead of him, and he should have been loaned out to France, Belgium, Holland. He needs to play senior ball against men. Yeah, listen, I think what I would like to see now is Balogun go out on loan in January. I don't think there's a need to keep him around for another 6 months playing under 23 football. Get him out on loan. Championship, Bundesliga, Premier League, give him a chance. The fact that Eddie didn't get sold messed him up. Yeah, maybe it put another player in front of him. Maybe the club were thinking, get Eddie out the way, and we kind of promote Balogun then one place up the ladder, while Eddie not going has kind of kept him there. Michael said he doesn't even play in the Carabao Cup. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't. Send him to Nottingham Forest. Yeah, get him there, man, my hometown club. Help them get promoted. Melito, 08010 striker settings. I remember him. Inter Milan. Good goal scorer. Northern Paulie said, I'm not sure why everyone's down on Edu. I know the contract Xhaka extension was just madness, but when was the last time we had a transfer window when all the players brought in looked very good? Listen, like I said, we should be respectful to Edu in one sense, because Edu played for the club. He was here period as well. And he's took a lot of flack. You saw in the summer, start of the season, people was abusing him. And I think he was with his wife at the game. It looked a bit unsavoury. But I think that he's done all right so far. He's still got a lot more to prove. I want to see if he can go and attract some of the bigger players next summer. You know, he was kind of alluding in the Jeff Shreves interview that, you know, we went for quantity this year because the squad needed boosting, whereas next year we'll go more just for, you know, bigger players that will add that quality to us. So we'll have to see with that one. Maria said, all I need from Flo is to switch allegiance to Nigeria to stand a chance to play constant competitive football. I mean, apparently, I think he's starting for England under 21s tomorrow, so he's on the right track. But listen, you never know. Maybe in the future he switches and plays for Nigeria instead of England. Edu is getting overhyped now. Yeah, man, listen, I just think, you know, he's had 2 full transfer windows. Last summer, he only got the end of it. Raul left mid-summer. January, I thought he did quite well. As I said, he got rid of some of the deadwood. He got Odegaard and Matt Ryan with no money to spend. I think this summer, I mean, I was underwhelmed by the transfer window, but at the moment, it's working out. So I have to give him some credit. I have to. Temp said Liverpool have always eyed Balogun. We have to be careful. They have. Paulie said, don't get me wrong, Big C. It's another thing bringing in big names. He does still have a bit to prove, but I honestly think he's doing a decent job. What I want to see next year, can you go and get them stars to come to the football club? You know, that's a different story. Scissor said, Big C, you remember when you revoked Edu's invincible status? Yeah, I downgraded him. I was fuming. I'm not going to lie, I had a very emotional summer when it come to Edu's transfer business. I was not pleased with what was going on, but as I always say, prove me wrong. I mean, listen, you can see this happening. If Mikel Arteta has a good season this year, they will give him a new contract. I believe he has 2 years left. So, yeah, if he has a good season, they'll extend it. It is what it is, innit? FJ said Balogun can play for America. He was born in New York. I didn't know that. Didn't know that at all. I said you called Edu a backup dancer. Oh, it's the emotion, man. I get caught in the moment, people. You know what I mean? I get caught in the moment. When we were signing some of these players, I was vexed. So, yeah, I downgraded him big time. But, yeah, he's got to earn that trust back, you know. He's got to earn it back. Curtis, thoughts on Nelson? His loan isn't working out in Holland. You know what? That's actually a show that I'm going to probably do. A few people have been asking for that. A loan watch. So we'll potentially do that. Maybe start of next week or end of this week. I mean, yeah, Reece Nelson, 4 appearances, not even all starts. You know, we're in, mid-November, 4 appearances, 1 yellow card, 1 assist, no goals. It's not going well. You're right. I haven't really kept an eye on what he's doing. But that's disappointing. Again, looks wasted. Yeah, Balogun is American. Yeah, maybe he could play for America then. Take a sip, Kurt. The community has all the receipts. Yeah, listen, you lot remember a lot of the things that I said, man. Sometimes I forget. I get caught up in the moment, you know. Every day I'm waffling said, Big C, I appreciate you eating your humble pie. Listen, I say this all the time, people. I have no problem eating humble pie if it is for the benefit of the football club. Yeah, I've dissed Edu. Yeah, I've dissed Arteta, I've dissed Vinay, I've dissed Josh, all of them. But if they can convince us we're moving in the right direction, we'll stick with it, people. Why wouldn't we, you know? AYN, smash the likes, people. 1.2k watching. Big up to every single one of you for tuning in. Much appreciated. Like I said, we'll have a member stream this weekend. We'll still be doing daily uploads as well on the channel. And I was going to do a few collabs this week, but it's going to be next week, I would imagine now. I'm looking to get 3 collabs in next week. So we'll get that done. And obviously towards the end of the week, we'll be building up to the Liverpool game. Going to get 1 or 2 Liverpool, YouTubers on here towards the end of the week so we can preview the game next weekend. It's a massive one. Big C up on 10 mil. You deserve it. Big up to you, bro. Appreciate that. And Herb said, still a long way to go for Arteta and Edu. And that's the thing. I believe that Edu and Arteta are on the right track, but they're not there yet. That's why I'm not getting as hyped. Some people message me, go, that's it, Arteta's proved you wrong. I'm like, listen, relax. The race hasn't finished. We're in a good run of form. We haven't achieved anything yet. Wait until we achieve it. We've seen Arsenal in good form before. And I don't mean to, burst anyone's bubble of excitement, but I've been involved in football long enough. I've seen form, I've seen form. Form comes and goes. It's about doing it on a consistent basis. We've got a difficult run of games coming up. And I know people will say we've done difficult runs, but we've only beat one team in the top 10. We've only scored 13 goals. These are things that we're going to have to address for us to see where we're really at. Robert said, Big C, I respect the fact you don't force content like others do. Much respect. You always have my support. Wish super chats are available in my region. Nah, no worries, bro. Like and subscribe is more than enough for me, my friend. Big congrats on 38k, Big C. Keep on smashing it. I appreciate that. Falilu said, Steven Gerrard, Aston Villa, and Fat Frank to Norwich. Listen, personally, I'm quite excited to see Gerrard in the Premier League. I think he's a big character. He was a legendary player. And, he's going to have a lot to prove. He's trying to get that Liverpool job long term. And I'm excited to see him back. Try and get Grizz on. Yeah, listen, I'm going to try and get maybe 2 Liverpool content creators on and me and another Arsenal one. And we'll have 4 of us maybe. Do something like that. We'll do something like that. It's a marathon. Let's not get carried away. 100%. The Arsenal fan base. We're not the most balanced. When we're bad, we're the worst team ever. It's a crisis. It's all over. When we're good, we're unbelievable. Every player's world class. We're better than everybody else. The balance is usually somewhere in the middle. So I think we have to kind of rein it in, enjoy what's happening, enjoy the process, But remember, we're still a long, long way to go. Ian said Grizz and James. Yeah, but definitely we could look to get those 2 on. I know both of them, so it'd be good. And I haven't had Grizz on here before. Anthony said Rangers must be gutted. I genuinely hope Steven Gerrard does bits up at Villa. Curtis dissed the whole Arsenal board moving like 50 Cent on piggy bank. Curtis settings, man. We go for anyone who comes for us. Window shopper business. Get on the Highbury squad. Yeah, I've been on there once or twice. But yeah, man, we'll get something sorted for next week. But yeah, we'll get a couple of collabs sorted as well. Right, people. It's going to be a shorter show today, but this comes out today. Should be a very, very interesting watch. I haven't actually got tickets for it. There were supposed to be tickets available tonight, but I didn't bother. I believe it's at cinemas all weekend in the UK. It comes out on the 22nd of November on Amazon, I believe, for everybody worldwide to be able to watch. This comes out tonight. Should be an interesting watch. I mean, I don't think he's going to say anything that we haven't heard before. We know pretty much everything, but I just think it all brings it back to the surface again. I have to admit, I've kind of enjoyed speaking about Arsene Wenger. He's a very fascinating character. I'm always intrigued to his thoughts. He's very intelligent, and he's got a lot of stories to tell about what happened in his time at Arsenal. And, I always have this frustration with Arsene Wenger, with such a legend, but so sad that he went in the way that he went. So I am looking forward to seeing what he does, what he says. And obviously there's rumours of him potentially being in and around Arsenal. Will he come back and watch games? So if I do see this movie this weekend, we'll obviously talk about that in one of the streams. But yeah, fascinating character, Arsene Wenger. And there was a big debate going on yesterday, 2 debates. And I just wanted your thoughts on this and to let me know. I saw something saying that the Emirates naming rights are available from 2026. So basically, Arsenal can change the name of their stadium. Their sponsorship runs out 2026. Emirates obviously could offer loads of money and just renew it. Now, I was saying, should Arsenal change the name of their stadium? My suggestion was potentially we could call it New Highbury. A few people were even saying call it the Arsene Wenger Stadium. Now, I don't mind him having a statue or maybe a stand. I wouldn't necessarily name the whole stadium after him. But would you change the name of the stadium? I think, maybe call it New Highbury. I don't think the whole Emirates thing has ever given us any connection. I don't know. I think when you name a stadium after the people who sponsor it, I don't know. Is it a bit flat? Like, what are they going to call it? The Lucasade Stadium, Bird's Eye Waffle. We call it the Waffle Stadium, people, while Mikel Arteta's in charge. We definitely call it the Waffle Stadium. But what do you think? Crazy Cliff said, Highbury's my soul, Emirates is my suffering. The quote from Wenger, super sad. See, them comments, they do resonate, because I do feel like Wenger is like a family member, and I feel sorry for him that, the way he left the football club, he's clearly devastated and hurt by the football club. But would you change the name? Fitz said George Graham deserves a statue. I don't think George Graham will ever get a statue at Arsenal for two reasons. The way he left, and obviously we know about all that, the envelopes, and also the fact he went to Tottenham. So I think George Graham lost any chance that he had of getting a statue. Waffle House Polymation, the Kroenke Stadium. Can you imagine if they changed it to that? Transmit Stadium, Royal Arsenal. NHS Stadium, we've had so many injuries. Transmit Arena, Ashburton Grove. Yeah, you could call it that. I know people say it's called that, but, worldwide it's known as the Emirates. But the Emirates, to me, just doesn't really have any real meaning or anything. But again, maybe it's due to the fact we haven't won things. I said this before. If you're successful in a stadium, you create memories, you create history, people resonate. Does it really matter the name of it? I don't know. But I was going for New Highbury, but some people are saying, leave it alone. Highbury was Highbury. This is something else. What about just the Arsenal Stadium? Possibly we could do. We should name the stadium after, what did he say there? We should name the stadium after our biggest legend, Lucas Perez. The Spanish Vardy, they called him. Niall said, love the channel. Big Curtis in the house. Big up to you, bro. The Invincible Stadium. The Thierry Henry Estadio. And the other one, just the other question I wanted to ask you people was, does Arsene Wenger deserve that statue? Now, for me, I think he does. I think it was right for it to be held off for a little bit. Don't do it straight away. But I think now, I would love to see Arsene Wenger get that statue. For me, I look at three people and think, why have they not got a statue? One is Arsene Wenger. The other one is Patrick Vieira. And the other one is Ian Wright. Patrick Vieira, for me, the best midfielder I have ever seen play for Arsenal. Ian Wright, the player that I think so many people support Arsenal because of that guy. He was our record goal scorer until Thierry overtook him. And then Arsene Wenger, for me, I mean, listen, we can talk about the end. I mean, Shashi is saying Wenger destroyed your club. I don't agree with that. I think he left us in a bit of a mess. But, you can't forget what he did prior to that. Wenger, for me, deserves a statue. And I would love to see it built. It's got to be that picture of him holding the gold trophy, the gold Premier League. Curtis Shaw TV Stadium sounds good. I don't mind that, to be fair. B-Tech Highbury. What would be Arsene's pose for the statue? I mean, you know me, I got a bit of a banter side to be. If I was doing banter, I would do the one of him trying to zip up his jacket. But I'm not sure they would want him to do that. So it'd got to be him holding up the gold trophy, and I would love to see Arsene get that kind of respect from us. I think he's a legend of the football club. Still produced the best times that we ever saw, really, in recent history at Arsenal. Obviously, some of the older audience will have seen more, and George Graham and that. But, yeah, Oz said the zipper jacket would be jokes. I'm telling you, man, the man could never zip up that coat. I support Arsenal because of Wrighty. And I would say with me, Wrighty is one of the biggest reasons why I support Arsenal, to be honest. Without David Dein, what did someone say? Without David Dein, Wenger is nothing. I don't agree with that. He was a big help to him. He's still something without him. Wenger standing at Old Trafford with his hands out with all the fans behind him. The North London is Red Stadium. The Nicholas Bentner Stadium. Banterbury. Bayern's training ground. Listen, we'd be lucky to play Bayern, Statue should be of him standing on the stands at Old Trafford with his hands out. The Armoury, that's a good one. But yeah, those three for me. Vieira, Ian Wright, and Arsene Wenger. I think those three deserve statues, man. I would love to see those guys get statues. But hey, it's Arsenal Football Club. If it makes sense, then they probably won't do it, people. That is it for me today, people. Big up to all of you for tuning in. We've been on just about an hour. I will be back tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be about 2 o'clock. Look out for the usual. Like I said, member stream this weekend, and we will do 2 or 3 collabs next week. I was going to get some in this week, but because of timings, people are very busy at the moment. And we'll get 2 or 3 collabs next week. So big up to every one of you for tuning in. Make sure you like the video on your way out. And listen, big thank you to everyone. We've hit 10 million views on YouTube on this channel. A figure that you just never think you're going to hit when you start a channel. So I have to big up every one of you legends. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, people. And I will see you all tomorrow, everyone. Bless.